unpick, cook more with less.
WhatsApp us now on 060 904 1056.
Imagine this. You're putting together a 7-color meal, from the creamy pasta to the glazed carrots and flavorful onion gravy. This entire meal is made with our 100% pure extra virgin olive oil from our La Familia range, bringing outstanding quality and taste to your kitchen. Shop La Familia 100% pure extra virgin olive oil at any leading supermarkets near you. La Familia, heart of the home.
The views and opinions expressed by the guest and presenters of Radio Al Ansar are not necessarily the views and opinions of Radio Al Ansar and the Al Ansar Foundation. Tweet us at Al Ansar Radio.
This segment is brought to you by Kenfield Auto, your RMI approved service and repair specialist. 236 Brickfield Road, Overport. Kenfield Auto.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. ربنا إننا نخاف أن يفرط علينا أو أن يطغى.
Car won't start.
Kenfield Auto.
Noisy brakes.
Kenfield Auto.
Due for a service.
Kenfield Auto. Kenfield Auto, the answer to all your car problems. Your service and repair specialist for your VW, Audi, Suzuki, Toyota, or just about any vehicle. Kenfield Auto, your RMI and insurance approved workshop to handle them all. 236 Brickfield Road, Overport. Call us on 031 207 2399. Kenfield Auto.
Call us now on 0861 904 904. Your station, my station, our station, Radio Al Ansar.
It's Ria Mohammed here, hosting the Next Gen show on Radio Al Ansar. It's not just a radio show, it stands as a powerful movement in its own right. It embodies the essence of individuality, creativity, and positivity, where we explore the latest trends and engage in lively discussions. Expect a mix of insight, humor, and mental health, social justice, and relevance that promises an enlightening and enjoyable listening experience, ensuring you don't miss out on this captivating adventure on Next Gen.
Radio Al Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM, Peter Maritzburg, 105.6 FM.
Okay, and we are back with our esteemed guest, Dr. Shaisa Hamid, who has been a practicing clinical psychologist for the past 24 years. She has experience as a clinician, supervisor, academic, and published researcher. She attained her PhD from the Nelson Mandela School of Medicine, with the area of expertise being in psychophotology. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. And Jazakallah for inviting me to share this space today.
I know, I was just going to say Jazakallah for coming on. I mean, I was at the Marriage Matters event, and I really enjoyed it because what you did speak about was truly interesting and insightful. So I'm just so glad that I got this chance to chat with you today.
Yeah, I hope that this is as enjoyable for you as that workshop.
100%, 100%, because you are already so sweet and so nice to be around.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm going to go straight into the questions, right? So now, how do you approach working with Gen Z clients, and what unique challenges do you face?
Honestly, I work with them and I approach with them the same way I do anybody from any generation.
Yes.
I'm my authentic, transparent self. And I think being that way inspires confidence in your client.
Yes.
And there is in my first session, I will have like a little clause that says, try me out, try the session out with me for 1 or 2 sessions.
Yeah.
And if we don't gel, we don't vibe, that's fine.
Because you have to have a connection.
You have to have that connection. And if you don't feel that, that's perfectly fine. You can shop further and see who you find your fit with, because it's so important to find your fit with your psychologist.
Yes, 100%.
And often I think just allowing the person that space and giving them the power to choose and to say, oh, I have a choice here, I can use my own judgment and I'm not bound because say my parent brought me to this person. So I think that inspires confidence in them. I don't try to be what I am not, which is, although I might identify as a Gen Z, I'm not. So I will not use words like type or no cap, because that's as ridiculous as it sounds,
Yes,
as,
no,
as ridiculous as I
100% agree.
feel.
Yeah.
So I won't do that. And plus
Yeah.
my son will kill me. So, I don't do that. I'm authentic with them. I think the challenges are sometimes not understanding certain spaces. Like, for example, there was a point where I really didn't understand Snapchat. I thought it was, we use it to just play with the filters or you take out pictures of yourself. And I didn't realize there's a whole other zone to Snap. And when I learned that, I was really intrigued. And I was like, whoa, okay.
That's a whole different world.
That's a whole different world. So I learn as I go along. Both interpersonally with the clients and on a social level, because my son is Gen Z, and I get along very well, not just with him being his mother, but also say with his friends. They feel very comfortable with me,
good,
and they feel very comfortable to speak to me about stuff that sometimes they may not be able to speak at home for whatever reason. And so I hear a lot, where even if I'm just like driving them around, I'm hearing them talk. And in that conversation or that dialogue, I'm picking up things, I'm picking up themes. And for example, sometimes I'd hear a conversation, I'll think, wow, these kids are far deeper than I gave them credit for. You think like young boys, like not much happening. And then when they'll speak, and I'll be like blown away, and then I have to like hide my feelings, like my expression. So yeah, I think the challenges are really not many, except like to keep up with the world and know and to accept that it's an evolving world.
I'm just gonna say, because it keeps revolving and
it constantly it's evolved. I think daily it's evolving.
100%.
And to be non-judgmental. If you can be non-judgmental and authentic, the person picks up on that, and they feel free in the space to share whatever the issue is.
I absolutely love that. Already when you spoke about how they feel comfortable with you, I already feel very comfortable with you. I'm loving that. So what are some common mental health issues that you have observed in Gen Z, and how would you address them?
So what I have noticed is there's a higher incidence of anxiety. Or should I say a heightened incidence of anxiety? That's a big one. Depression. Identity issues. As amazing and as caught up as we are in the world of the internet, saying that like an old person, the internet, but and social media, it can also be quite self-isolating, because you can be so lost in that world that you forget, like, a common example is sometimes you could be sitting around the dinner table and everybody's looking at their phones, as opposed to having a real conversation and making eye contact. Something as simple as eye contact is now lost. So that can be quite isolating. But at the same time, the other side of that coin is, as you were mentioning earlier, comparing the real world and not realizing it's not the real world. So sometimes to bring people back to reality and say that's not real. And even I fall for this. Like an example is, I was with my trainer and I was showing her this video, and I was like, oh, look at this this chick, and look at the workout. Like, wow, like, can I get there? And then she's like, but do you not realize this is all edited? And she cannot do all that in one frame. Like, and I'm like, no, I didn't. I actually thought she was doing all that. So I think so many of us look at things in the real world, and we think that's real. If I'm making sense.
No, 100%. Yes.
And it can be confusing, and as you said, it can set unrealistic expectations and standards that can consume you in a negative way.
I also see, like, on social media, we have, for example, these models. And what they do is that, like, they post and publicize their lives, and it looks so perfect. And then I would say, oh no, but I want what she has. And I mean, as I said, and you said, they
they're not in the real world. I'm basically looking at something that actually doesn't exist.
Exactly.
So-
I think what we don't realize is that probably 90% is, or 95, should I
Yeah, I guess
go there?
you can heighten it.
Is it's not real, it's
Yes.
created
yes.
and it's constructed.
Yes.
And we fall for that construction.
Yes.
And we don't realize that actually that person is not in that resort.
yes,
For example,
yes.
they just took a picture
Mm.
and they're going to leave immediately. They're not spending a
Yes.
week in
Yes.
some fancy place.
Yeah.
Or that a Birkin they walking with has been sponsored.
Yes. Yeah.
Or that face cream that they're putting on. It's all sponsorship.
Sponsored. Yeah.
So I think and I think that also comes though with age and experience to be
yeah.
able to understand
it. Yeah.
that this is not exactly what it's being depicted for.
Yes. 100%.
And I think in a way, educationally, where that's coming up is where we're looking at media nowadays.
Yeah.
And the world, not we, the world is
Yes.
realizing that media was influencing a certain narrative.
Yes.
And through social media, you are getting to see a different narrative.
Mm.
So that's how you can
Yeah.
look at the comparison,
Yes,
of what's
yes.
real, what you think is real, but may not be real.
But it's not. Yeah. Like I know, like for example, celebrities or even influencers, right? They could be portraying this whole lavish lifestyle, yet on the inside, that's not real. It's just like if on the inside of them, they're probably depressed. They're going through hardships. So it's just like putting out a facade and veiling who they truly are.
Yeah, I agree. I also must admit,
Yeah.
and I'm probably giving away my age,
That's okay.
I don't get this world of
Yes.
influencers.
No, same.
Like, I really don't. I think to start following somebody because they did a TikTok dance.
Yes.
And now basing your self-esteem on whether
Yeah.
you can do the dance yourself
Yes.
or sing that song or whatever it is, put the
Yeah.
makeup on or whatever
Yeah.
it is that they're doing. I don't understand it
Yes.
because I feel
guess
like you're losing
Who you are.
you're losing who you are,
Yes. Yeah.
and you're handing it over, externalizing
Yes.
your sense of control and your confidence,
Yeah.
and to realize that nobody is better than you.
Yes.
That person being
Yeah.
on the screen doesn't make them
Yes.
better than
Yeah,
you.
you're unique and you're special in your own way.
Exactly.
We're all human beings and individuals. And then now, like, how do you incorporate technology such as teletherapy or online resources into your practice with Gen Z clients?
So I work mainly online. And I find the Gen Z clients are the ones that are most open to working online.
Yeah.
And other sources might be, I don't like doing it, but at a pinch, a WhatsApp video call, things like that. But whatever works for the client. But I find Gen Zs versus the other generations are far more open to online. Because even if you come into a session with me, if you're doing a face-to-face with me, I have my tablet in front of me. I'm working on my tablet. I don't write on paper. And I didn't even think about it. I was just thinking of what works for me.
Yeah.
But Gen Zs,
Gen Z, they're more
they
online.
see that and they're like, nice tablet. And they relate to that.
Because that's what they use every single day.
Exactly.
So, how do you foster a sense of safety and trust with Gen Z clients?
So, with any clients, I can't lie, with any clients in psychotherapy, your first form of communication and contracting is confidentiality.
Yes.
And explaining the boundaries of confidentiality, because there are boundaries to that. But also explaining what confidentiality means. And once you do that and you set that safe space for them, they're able to understand that I can give this a try. And then I always say, let's work contract for 3 sessions.
Yes.
If you're not happy in 3 sessions, you let me
Then,
know. But part of my written contract is also we working in a partnership.
Yes.
Right. So it's not like if you go to a medical professional and they like take this tablets for so many days.
Yeah.
With me, I'm saying let's consider ourselves as in a 50-50 partnership.
Yeah.
So my 50% that I'm bringing to this relationship is my expertise from a psychological perspective.
Yeah.
Your 50% is about your expertise on yourself, right?
Yes, yeah.
Because who else is an
Yes,
expert on you
yeah.
but you?
Yes.
And if we both can combine that knowledge sets, we can work as an incredible team.
Yes.
So I think, again, in doing all those kinds of things, it gives hope
Yes.
and power
Yeah.
and control
Yeah.
to the client, and they feel like, okay, I can manage this,
Yes.
as opposed to me sitting and saying, okay, we're going to do this,
Yeah.
this, you know.
So you have to build that, relationship with your
Exactly,
clients.
exactly. And I take it at their pace as well. So if you're not comfortable telling me something, I'm fine with that.
Yes.
You open up when
takes
you're
time.
ready
Yeah.
to open up.
Yeah.
And more often than not, people say, no, I'm not going to talk about that today. And I'm
Yeah.
like, cool. And by the end of the session, we've already explored that. So I think it's allowing, I think if you create an authentic, honest
Yes.
space,
Yeah.
people can pick up on that. And if they feel validated and
Yes.
secure,
Yeah.
they will respond accordingly.
Yeah, I like that. I would say does make them more comfortable when basically being authentic yourself, not trying to. It's like I would say like you're not just trying to say you're a psychologist, so you're gonna help them. You wanna meet them on an emotional level.
Yes, and also I'm not saying I'm better than you.
Yes. Oh no.
Or I'm
yes.
higher than you.
Yeah.
I'm saying we're equals.
We're equals. Yeah.
We're just coming from different knowledge sets.
Yes. Yeah.
And you, like maybe there's an issue that I can assist you
Yeah.
with, but I'm also going to rely
Yeah.
on you
Yes.
to provide me with
Yes.
assistance.
And I actually absolutely love that. And I would say that the psychologists, I think they need to also incorporate that too. I'm not sure who does and who doesn't, but actually that is really important way to go about this, because that's how you also get your client to open up and basically feel like they can talk to you on a personal level.
And
with
it's
comfort.
surprising that you could do this with a young child.
Yes.
And they will be thrilled.
Yes.
And
yes.
they respond so differently.
Yeah.
Because somebody is, instead of telling them, you must do this, you must do
Yes,
that, is
yeah.
saying, how do you feel about this?
Yeah.
Let's negotiate.
Yes. Yeah.
So empowering people from the very start.
Yes. I absolutely love that. And now, what role does social media and online communities play in mental health of Gen Z? And how do you help clients navigate these spaces?
I think, as I've mentioned before, social media can be both a positive and a negative space.
Yes.
There's a lot of people coming on now and speaking about mental health issues. And I've also seen a lot of like videos and reels of people who are struggling with something and saying, I don't have anybody to speak to, so I'm coming on this platform to speak to you, and I'm hoping somebody can help me.
Yes.
And often when I go into the comments, because the psychologist is me so interested, the comments are usually very positive and very encouraging and very supportive.
Yes.
And that is what that person needed at that time. And it can help them navigate. You don't know what they were feeling at that time, where they were emotionally. So it can really provide them with a sense of strength and support and not feeling alone. Because sometimes when you watch the video, it's like somebody sitting in their room.
Yeah.
And, it's a sense of you can see the door is closed and they're locked up, and you're like, do others outside of the room, are they aware of what this person is experiencing? And most likely they're not. But the person is feeling like, I want to share this here. So I think there it's really positive where people come forth and share and encourage and give like resources and stuff. But as I said, the downfall of it can be where you take that world too seriously and you're not able to distinguish when it's good and when it's a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like you spoke about cyberbullying. I didn't even know that nowadays most kids keep revenge folders.
Yes.
I was like, what? It's like so different. Like when I was younger, if you had an issue with somebody in school, it happened in school and it stayed there. Now it happens in school, but 10,000 people or 10 people are recording you.
Yes.
And then it goes online. And that's like such an invasion.
And the story goes everywhere.
And the
it's
story
widespread.
And before, it might have spread, but here now it can even spread globally.
Yes.
So the global village that we've spoken about is not, it's become like a small community, even smaller than a village. So I think those are the disadvantages, I think. And like you said, creating unrealistic expectations of how you should look. You should, like, for example, have this brand of
Maybe
designer outfit
designer
or
brands, yeah.
bag or shoes
Yeah.
or whatever. Or you should wear your makeup in a
Yeah.
certain way or whatever.
Mm.
I think all that is like, it can put too much
Yes.
pressure.
Yeah.
But I also do like the fact that sometimes I will see people who will do those, for example, those makeup ones, the
Yes.
tutorials,
Yeah.
and they'll go all wrong.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, yeah, that would be me. So it's nice to see that too,
Yes.
because that's somebody else showing you that, for example, I've tried the scarf
Yeah.
tutorial a
Yeah.
couple of times, right? I've failed miserably.
Oh no, same here, same here.
And I'm like, but they make it look so easy.
They make it look very easy.
But then when you watch somebody else do that, and like, if they're putting the
Yeah.
winged eyeliner
Yeah.
and they get it wrong,
Yeah.
and then you're like, wow, I can relate to
Yes,
that.
yeah, that's actually really important that when people do that, because you seeing the real world, because on social media you don't generally see the real world, but when someone just messes up something, you can see that is the real.
And you can relate to that.
Yes.
Yes, same thing happened to me, or
Yeah.
understand that.
In fact, today I was doing my eyeliner and I messed it up. I think I did this. I had to take it off. But yeah, that's
Yeah, I saw there
reality.
was one where they were like putting the wing, and then you make a noise,
Yeah.
and and then you make the noise, and then it like just lands
It just
perfectly.
does- I
And then
saw
one lady went straight to her hairline, and I was like, that would be me.
Okay, so now how do you help Gen Z clients cope with anxiety, depression, or other mental health concerns relating to academic pressures, social expectations, or societal issues?
So generally, psychoeducation is a big tool,
Hmm.
and understanding what is realistic and unrealistic
Yes,
standards. So a lot of say the kids that I'm seeing who are in school
Hmm.
have very high high standards, or
Yes, progress
like I
standards,
should
yeah.
be first in the grade.
Yes.
I should be doing this plus multiple
Yeah.
extra curriculars,
Yes.
academically and sport. And I should be able to be number one
Yes.
in everything,
Yeah.
which is unrealistic. You can't.
100%.
So psychoeducating them, teaching them boundaries, teaching them coping mechanisms,
yeah.
because I think a lot of people don't have adaptive coping
Yes,
mechanisms.
yeah.
And it's when you don't have adaptive coping mechanisms that issues such as anxiety and depression and other things become exacerbated.
Yes, yeah.
So I tend to use primarily a therapeutic technique called cognitive behavioral therapy.
I was just going to ask about that.
So I use that, which is it focuses on your thoughts and how your thoughts, like you were saying, negative thoughts can have
Yes.
negative emotions
Yes,
and
yeah.
result in negative behaviors, positive, vice versa, that way. So that's what I focus
Yes.
on, and teaching people how, for example, if we're having an anxiety, we take the one thought
Yes.
and we work with one thought.
Yes.
And just doing that
Yeah.
and helps the person understand
Yeah.
that,
Okay,
wow, I should look at it. My
Yes.
perspective should change.
Yes.
So a thing I use is often, and so many Gen Z people don't know
Yeah.
this, but when I was a kid, you would get like the circus that would come to town, right?
Yeah.
With the fun fair and stuff like that. And in the circus, it used to be called Boswell. That's how old I am. There would be like a tent with these different mirrors. And if you entered the tent and you looked in the mirrors would give you a distorted image. So it'd make you taller, shorter, your neck would be longer, you'd be fatter, thinner, whatever. And if you'd never looked into a normal mirror, you'd walk in and look at that mirror and believe the distorted image.
Yes.
Right? You'd think, I look like this. And that's what thoughts can do.
Yeah.
They give you a distorted
Yes.
mirror of reality. And so what my job is to show you that that's distorted.
Yes.
Let's replace it with a
Yeah.
proper functioning mirror
Yeah.
in the simplistic
Yes.
terms that I can explain. Yeah.
I absolutely love that. So now, what strategies would you say Gen Z should promote self-care and resilience?
Same thing, the coping strategies. I like mindfulness a lot. I like to teach them self-care. Like I would say, it can be different things for different people.
Yes,
For some
yes.
people, it can be exercise. For some people, it can be walking on the beach. For some people, it can be going for a facial. It's different things for different people.
Different people,
But
yeah.
as long as you're aware that you are taking time out during the week for yourself.
Yes,
Like
yes.
giving yourself an hour or two
Yeah.
where you're just focusing on
Yeah.
yourself, guilt-free.
Self-care. Yeah.
And you're doing something that feeds your soul.
Yeah.
Whether that is going and taking a walk in the park,
Give
or
yourself some love.
doing some Pilates, whatever. Give yourself
Yes,
love.
Yes.
Even, that could be a cup of coffee.
Yes, yes.
At your favorite coffee shop,
Yeah.
whatever. Nobody defines it, you define it.
Yes.
But being able to incorporate it as your routine,
Yeah.
I think is what I would teach them.
Yeah.
And I think the more you do that and teach them adaptive coping,
Yes.
the more the resilience starts to grow. It's like you're building up a shield of armor.
Yes.
And then if there's a stressor that's going to trigger anxiety or depression, you already have an armor
Yes.
that can deflect it. So, yeah, that's what I would do with them.
We're running out of time, but I have one more question for you. So, what hope or optimism do you have for the mental health and well-being of Gen Z? And how can we support their positive growth and development?
I think I am very optimistic for Gen Zs.
Yes.
Because most of them I find are quite open to coming in for therapy.
Yes.
And maybe what needs to be changed is the generation behind them.
Yeah.
Or their parents, for example, because they might have stereotypes, prejudices about therapy, which Gen Zs don't have.
Yes, yes, yes.
And they're quite comfortable, but sometimes they held back because what would the family think? Or my family would not allow this. And I think it's just to be supportive of their journey.
Yeah.
And I think, when we see these advocacies against body shaming, promoting mental health, I think all this is like giving me such hope for this generation. This fight for the work-life balance, that, my whole entire being can't go into only working.
Yeah.
I should be living as well, balancing the both out. And I think as a society and as maybe generations older than them, you just need to support that process and not hold it back.
Absolutely
Like I see like people where the parents will say like, don't tell anybody she's seeing you.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, but why? Or tell the child, don't tell anybody you're seeing her.
Yeah.
I'm like, but why? It's not like it's like incandescent or something. It's like, it's you would not think that to go to a dentist.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody you went to the dentist. Like, why?
Yeah.
Your head is not separate. This is what the message that I would like to leave.
Yeah.
Your head is not separate from your body. So as you would have a flu in your body and you would not question it, if you have an anxiety or depression, don't question something other.
Yes.
It's one human, one
yes.
person. So we must stop dissecting and saying mental and all these negative words that we associate with it, and as if it's something else. It's not something else. It's the one person experiencing
100%.
everything. And no human being, whoever you are, and I dare anyone to challenge me on this, can say that you're always happy, or you can't. We have up days, down days, good days, bad days. That's life.
Yes, it is.
So embrace all emotions.
Absolutely love that. Jazakallah for coming on. It was absolutely lovely, and I really, really appreciate it.
I mean, thank you
Actually,
for
really
having
enjoyed
me.
myself. Oh, it was
Great.
lovely. Well, assalamu alaikum wa
Wa
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.